News Nation broke a story that changed the game on a topic that remains as hot as ever. We're talking about UFOs. And tonight we've learned that the Pentagon and the agency responsible for identifying those UAPs hosted a UFO briefing with some media outlets. Well, we can't tell you what was said because News Nation was not invited. This all started, you remember, when special correspondent Ross Coulthart sat down with whistleblower David Grush. The former intelligence officer made explosive allegations that the government has a top secret UFO program that reverse engineers vehicles, aircraft, spacecraft of non-human origin. Well, that exclusive interview led to a hearing on Capitol Hill, where Grush, along with two other whistleblowers, testified in public for the first time. Today, only reporters handpicked by the Pentagon were able to attend the press briefing. News Nation was not handpicked, and our next guest thinks he may know why. Ross Coulthart joins us now. Ross, I wasn't aware the Pentagon got to pick which reporters came into press briefings.
Good evening, Elizabeth. Yes, they've pledged openness and transparency to Congress on the subject of UAPs, but they're not following through with their actions. As you know, we've been at the forefront on News Nation of breaking this story wide open, and we're continuing to push on it. But the Pentagon PR woman, a woman called Susan Goff, apparently has been going around corralling select members of the media and inviting them to be the ones who can, I forget my phone there, inviting them to be the ones who are speaking publicly on, speaking to the Pentagon on that issue. So unfortunately, we're not invited. We don't know what's transpired. We have no idea what's going to happen in the course of that meeting, but we understand it's happening sometime today.
Okay. Any guesses on why News Nation wasn't invited, since News Nation is the one that broke the story?
I think it's purely and simply because we're asking the hard questions. One of the criticisms that I've quite openly made about a lot of the national security reporters that do get invited to these events is they know that if they rattle the cage on this issue and cause too many hard questions to be asked, they don't get invited back to those Pentagon briefings. And so what the Pentagon's trying to do is to control the narrative. They're trying to constrain what people are allowed to know out there in the public. And we think it's important that the Pentagon follows through with what it's promised Congress, which is openness and transparency. Because only today, Elizabeth, there's been publicity on the Black Vault website of an incident that Representative Matt Gaetz talked about last year, where a US military pilot from the Air Force witnessed a craft of some kind hovering over the ocean. And his record of that incident, which Arrow should know about, the Pentagon's UFO office should know about, the video of that account is actually being suppressed from public knowledge. And one of the questions I would have liked to have asked is, why is that video being suppressed?
Good question. All right, Ross Coulthart, no doubt you will still figure out a way to find out what happened in that briefing. Really appreciate you being here with us.